Hi class, this is Dr. Earls checking in during week 2 to just update some clarification for the assignments due at the end of the week. And you're addressing Dr. Dempsey's 2 articles, actually the 2 chapters out of the book Innovate that Dr. Jonathan Falwell edited. But these are great insights that Dr. Dempsey is bringing forth, especially as you go through what he has to explain and expound on regarding the uh, the word in the Great Commission as it appears in the King James Version to observe, but the Greek word pareo is there, and talking to us about the fact that our sharing the gospel and our making disciples is a life-on-life ministry work and calling. So exactly what you've listened to Howard Hendricks and his presentation on disciple making and what he brought forth from 2 Timothy 2:2, definitely all of us have the great opportunity to invest in people, to say up close and to share Christ and what he has done in our own lives, authenticating that gospel message by sharing by conviction the good news to others' lives, and then helping them to understand what that looks like again by what they've seen in our lives and are investing in them. So there's a real understanding about discipling people before the cross, not just after the cross, that we start involving our lives in the lives of those that have not become a Christian yet as we carry out the Great Commission, and better than helping them understand what it means to follow Christ with their lives when they do cross that line and give their hearts to Him and trust and take Him as Savior and Lord. So in these 2 articles, you're doing a total of 4 pages addressing, yes, the main 3 in both articles, the sacrificial, relational, and transformational, along with the intentional, individual, and missional points he brings up. But also you want to address the 10 characteristics of a disciple, and then also the 5 greats that he unfolds in the second article. You want to make sure those are appearing in your summary work as you compile your 4 pages for the 2 articles. Again, it's 4 total pages, not 2 pages of 4 pages each, not 2 papers, 4 pages each. So I look forward to this study with you and reflecting back to you with what you submit at the end of the week. Again, our whole scope of what we're studying in this course is about leadership and casting vision as defined in the scriptures. Again, a leader's number 1 calling is to communicate vision carefully, clearly, and creatively. It's like the Nehemiah principle that you'll be seeing in Rick Warren's book, that halfway through that 58-day project of rebuilding the walls around Jerusalem that Nehemiah led the campaign to do, he had to revisit why we're here. What are we doing this for? What's our cause? What's our objective? And so vision is something that has to be repeated and constantly given and creatively communicated. And with that, leadership is always built on the premises of these 3 C's. 1, character. Secondly, competence. Thirdly, chemistry. Character trumps the other 2, but you need all 3 of those. Character only really comes from Christ, and if we're going to know real character that influences people in a positive way and moves them further along with God's plans for their lives, then we've got to know His character in us. That only comes by spending more time with Christ. That's what He was sharing and gives to us in John 15. The more we get to know Him, the more His character influences us and our attitudes and actions and acclamations, what we say and what we teach, and the vision that we cast. Along with that, then competence is the skill sets that go along with being a leader. And competence is knowing what my job is and what my objective in my job is. And that's to accomplish this vision with a team of people. Whether you're in a business organization, or yes, serving in the church and being a leader and casting influence there in your department, or if you're a pastor of a church, then my competence is based on writing upon my understanding of my job description, as well the job description of those that I'm serving and that I've been stewarded with that responsibility of equipping and engaging, encouraging them to accomplish what we're here together for. And then chemistry is my ability to relate to people and connect with people. The number one cause of ministry failure for pastors and church leaders is the inability to get along with people properly. And so this is so important in not only Christianity, but in all fields of service. Again, Jim Collins' book, Good to Great, was a great study on CEOs that he defined as level 5 people who were selfless, who cared about their people, who were honest, practiced integrity, and out of that had respect. Tom Landry was a coach that was one of probably the greatest leaders in NFL history. But he commanded the respect of his men, not because he forced it, but because he earned it. Howard Hendricks, that you listened to last week, was chaplain for the Cowboys under Landry for many years. He said he never heard Landry yell. Landry had played the game personally, and then he was the only coach the Cowboys had for the first 25 years of the history of the organization. But he was a guy who saw the potential in his men, cared about his men, and invested in them to make them better. One of the classic illustrations is him going to Dorset at the beginning of one of the football seasons and telling Tony that he was going to begin catching balls in the upcoming fall season. And Dorset was a great runner out of Pittsburgh and had already gotten much attention in the NFL, setting records by running. And he said, "No, I'm a runner, coach. I'm not a pass receiver." But Landry just mildly and confidently told him, "No, this year you're going to be catching passes." And he became the leading NFL receiver, I think, in that upcoming season with the new plans and strategies that Landry saw the potential in Dorset to be able to carry out and exploit weaknesses on defenses that they were coming against throughout the season. So a leader is always coming out of character, competence, and chemistry. He or she has to communicate vision clearly, creatively, continuously. And so much of that is riding on how much and how well we know Christ. So again, that's what we're going after. In this entire course, objective is to learn better how to be leaders that can effectively influence and help others that we're entrusted with to lead us all together as a team to carry out the common objective that we're together over. In the church, it's again to make disciple-making disciples. That's what the Great Commission, what Jesus instructed us to do. And as we learn better how to do that, then our churches are healthier, our communities are healthier, our world is better. And we are totally dependent upon Christ for his power and his strength and wisdom, and yes, indeed, his character. So thanks, class, for digging in to get to understand better Christ's wisdom and his ways and his will in doing what he's called each of you to do with your lives. Have a great rest of the week, class. Bye.